So here's the deal, people. I've been watching a lot of the news lately, and obviously I'm commenting more on the news that I'm watching. Before I didn't want to get very political. I just wanted to talk about intersex sort of stuff. But, Russia have now gone into Georgia, everybody knows, and this is what I've read on the American MSNBC. It says, for a start, US, Russia should face consequences for crisis. Right. The ceasefire faces huge challenges. Doesn't every ceasefire, though, let's be clear. So, it says here, US Defense Secretary Robert Gates said Thursday that Moscow should face unspecified consequences for its aggressive posture in the crisis-addled former Soviet Republic of Georgia, but that the Pentagon did not want a new Cold War with Russia or see a need to use US military force in the region. Well, let me just, because it goes on, but I can just take it all apart with that first paragraph. I'll start with the last sentence up. Or see a need to use US military force in the region. It sure is force from the US military. It's always force. In fact, there is no suggestion of peacekeeping when there's American soldiers involved in any conflict all over the world, in my fucking opinion. Yeah. It also says the Pentagon does not want a new Cold War in Russia. Well, let's be fucking clear on that sentence. We don't want communism because it didn't work. Right. We don't want capitalism either because that doesn't fucking work, but nobody's really talking about that yet because the people with money, they don't give a shit about the people with no money. And the people with no money, they can't afford to fucking get a computer and speak their voice on YouTube, okay? But the point here is that, you don't want a new Cold War. Don't tell me you're going to recycle that fucking word like Cold War and threaten that. The psychological damage that those words cause, Cold War, people freak out. Don't even fucking bring that up. That's over now. Just like communism's over, and capitalism will soon be fucking over, because it can't continue this way. It's ridiculous. Going up the paragraph, from end to start. Moscow should face unspecified. Whoa. Unspecified. Well, that's probably because the Americans don't know what the fuck they're going to do, because they won't specify on what they don't know what they're going to do. But to say that Moscow should face unspecified consequences for its aggressive posture. So Russia now are aggressive, more aggressive than, let's say, America on Iraq. Yeah. I'm not a historian, I fucking hate history, but, this whole sentence, I'll read it from the start to the end again, okay? US Defense Secretary Robert Gates said Thursday that Moscow should face unspecified consequences for its aggressive posture in the crisis-addled former Soviet Republic of Georgia, but that the Pentagon did not want a new Cold War with Russia or see a need to use US military force in the region. Yeah, well, there's loads of reasons for that, probably. I'd say, Russia would probably kick America's ass now, because it's probably got more people. I don't know, because again, I'm not a historian, and plus I'm not a keeping up-to-date person with statistics for war-orientated bullshit, and because it is bullshit, that America come in and dictate to the world what the fuck they can do and what they can't do. Fucking sick American fucking led society in the world. It is sick. If you Americans didn't have so many fucking weapons of mass destruction your fucking selves, then I think we'd be having a few more little demonstrations of how much we fucking hate Americans' attitude towards the world. I don't particularly like Russians myself in general. Most Russians in general are fucked up people. It's just a fact, Some lovely Russians, but, the majority of Russians are fucking fruitcakes. But the truth is, so the fuck are Americans, you know? Shit education system, full of yourselves, you know, talking about Europe as if it's just France. Most of you don't even know geography, so when you talk about going to another country, you don't fucking know where your fucking soldiers are going. You're just landing in Legoland, you know? No, it makes me sick the way that this whole thing is jumped on by the Americans, as usual. What are you trying to say? That you're the police force of America, like your own? You put yourself in as the police force. Nobody voted you in as a police force. You know, I don't trust Americans because you've got those tasers on the guns. You attack your own people in a shitty, fucked up way. And you can go get examples on Google for Germany fucking with their civilians, Ireland fucking with their civilians from the police force. But hold on a second, it just goes a bit too far, you know, on the American side. And you've so many rules in America, just like Ireland actually. And I have to say that I think Ireland has been extremely inflicted by America's bullshit idea of what a good society should be. Yeah, I think it's sick that you bring up things like, and Moscow should face unspecified consequences. What the fuck does that mean? I think America are going to be facing, regardless of whether they think it or not, they will be facing unspecified consequences themselves. So why even put that in a sentence, especially on MSNBC, where most Americans are going to be watching? It's a fucking sick picture that you paint. You know, whoever writes this for America. It's sick. And I personally am sick of America's invasions and America's supposed war on terror, or war on drugs, or war on whatever, or building the fucking wall in Mexico to keep Mexicans out. What? And Obama went over to Berlin there a few weeks ago, and he talked about, yeah, it's great that, you know, Europe had the sense to take down the wall, blah blah blah. Well, why don't fucking you take down the wall between Mexico and America then, you fuckers? I think you're just sick in the head, and I think you need I'm not saying you as in the American people, but I do think you as in America, if I was to speak to America personally, I'd say you need a good kick up the ass. But not in a violent way, because if we get violent with you, you're just going to press the red button. That's the state of America at the moment. Forget about the fucking States of America, the United States of America. There is no United States of America anymore. It's obvious that you're not together, you know. You should actually all be different countries. Each state should be a different country with a different president. That's the way it should be. I equally think that about Russia. And I think Europe is a good example of that lots of different countries are getting together to form a union, the European Union. I think that's a good idea. The only problem about the European Union is that America, again, coming in the back door, giving us crap, telling us there's no smoking ban, blah, blah, blah. Of course, here in Germany, they've got, well, not all over Germany, but where I am, they've weaseled their way out of that, you know, found loopholes, and they said, oh, if we've only got a bar with one room, we can smoke in that. And they said, yeah. And they said, okay, fine, we'll just section off our bars so that it's just one room, one room, one room. Anyway, look, I can't explain that right at the moment, but I just wish America would fuck off with the bully fucking mentality, and also fuck off with this whole idea of we know how to rule the world. Fuck yourselves, you don't have a clue. First thing you think of is, what? Gun on the head. That's what you think. Oh, it's sick. I'd love to take the weapons off America. I would love if the UN and NATO and all these people would go in and take the weapons of mass destruction off your hands. See how you fucking feel then. See how your intelligence gets you out of your crap. Because it's only the threat of violence that stops people talking against America. It's only the threat of assassination that stops people talking about America. You know? I think America general can't handle the truth. And I am going to get on a vibe with America at the moment. They're pissing me off again as usual. You know? It's you know, Russia and Georgia thing, and USA go in and because of the Cold War they think that they have a say in this, you know? What are they? Fucking going around... Like, the whole world, this is the biggest crunch point here, the whole world, including myself, and I don't go to protests, got up off its ass to say, no war in Iraq. The whole fucking world got up. You saw the demonstrations of thousands of people, normal looking people as well, not just the normal people who love going to protests. Normal people got up off their ass and said, no, America, do not go to war against Iraq. What happened? They went to war against Iraq. They continued to stay in Iraq, and you fucked up Iraq completely. And if you pull out your troops now, it's fucked as well. You know? So don't, America, talk to me about you being intelligent. I was talking to somebody on Facebook there as well. I said, great comment on Facebook. She writes back to say, yeah, well, I can't help it if my IQ is 114 or whatever the fuck she said. I didn't reply because I'm not in the mood for hearing Americans telling me what their IQ is. Don't fucking bullshit me with a test that you could have cheated on, or it's just a test. That's nothing. It's just nothing. Intelligence is getting through life the best way you can be and being a nice person. I'm angry at the moment, yes, but I am a nice person. Ciao.